I will be talking about evolution and application of wearable sensors for health assessment, promotion, and intervention. So I will focus on the sports science. So before going to detail on this topic, first I would like to inform you that now the World Cup football competition is being held in the Doha. And you people heard about that in Doha, there is a stadium called 974 Stadium. So it is made up of with the 974 container, recycled container. With the help of that thing, it has been made, and it can be shifted after this World Cup. It can be shifted to the anywhere in the poor country, like in Bangladesh. We heard that it will be shifted in the Bangladesh. So as well as in this football World Cup, we have also experienced that the scientific technology is being used, that is virtual assistant referee system that is being used, as well as the football, it is called as the Al Rahila, it is also being used. So the era, the time that is going on, it is all about different type of sensors. So that's why I have decided to focus on the evolution of the wearable sensors. They are for the health assessment, promotion, and the intervention on the sports science. So before going to that topic in detail, first we would like to know that what do you mean by wearable sensor? So hope it is visible. So wearable means whatever a subject can wear, like as a sweater, as a hat, pant, eyeglasses, socks, watches, some patches or device, just to fix on the belt without encumbering daily activities or restricting the mobility. So basically a sensor that can be wear within the body. So that is called as the wearable devices. So the concept of wearability is of particular importance in fields like monitoring of healthcare, well-being, and fitness. So in nowadays, we have experienced there are several wearable sensors are being used in the form of technological complexity as well as the width of their functionalities. As you can see here, different type of wearable sensors like Zephyr, like we people know about different Fitbit watches. Here it is. So according to the complexity as well as their functionalities, it has been widespread throughout this global scenario. So first, we will see the history, how this wearable sensor has come into the picture. So first, whenever we think about, if we think about the last 10 to 15 years back, if we see, we used to use the different laboratory devices. Like for cardiovascular assessment, we used to use the laboratory devices that is called as CEPT. So that from there, the name has been very familiar, CEPT test, that is cardiopulmonary exercise test. After that, the era was changed. Then we used to use after I am talking about in the year of 2000 and 2010, up to 2000 to 2010. So that time we used to use the portable devices, like as you can see here, the K4B2 or Metamax. Nowadays also we use these things like K5. Okay, so after that, the scenario become changed, and then we used to use the wearable devices like rigid electronics, like different watches and all. Then that rigid electronics was become flexible, and now we are using the wearable devices as an e-textiles. So we can say in future we can also come to see the different wearable devices like attachable devices like e-tattoos or under-skin implantable devices, or in another near future or after the 10-15 years, we can able to see the use of ingestible devices. So this way, we can see the changing or evolution of the wearable sensors. So we have made a timeline according to that changes. So as you can see, the timeline, so the blue dashed boxes, they are showing the research instruments, and that commercial instrument, as you can see, that is the gray dashed boxes. So in the 1962, it was started, the wearable devices, and now, as you can see, in the 2021, some synthetic biology-enabled wearable biosensors are being used for the research purposes. So this is the total scenario according to the timeline, the evolution of the wearable sensors, as you can see. So basically, two things we have come to know from there. One is that there are some biomedical sensors, and that has to be wearable. So that amalgamation of these two things will become the wearable biomedical sensors. So it can be different way, like activity tracker, it can be a smart watches, it can be a smart clothing, it can be a patches or tattoos, or sometimes or after sometimes we can able to see the ingestibles or smart implants. So this is the main basic things of the wearable sensors. There are some biomedical sensors and there are some wearables. So now we need to also understand that what do you mean by the medical device? So medical device is an instrument or apparatus or sometimes some softwares, materials or other article, whether used alone or in the combination or including the software intended by its manufacturer to be used specifically for diagnosis or for prevention or for monitoring, treatment, in any purpose. If it is being used, it is known as the medical devices. And medical devices should possess some ethics, as well as it should possess some risks or safety instructions. So if we want to use the wearable sensor, the main question is, if we want to use the wearable sensors as a medical device for the health assessment of the global people, we have to have look on these two, three things. So next, we need to understand that what do you mean by body area network, or it is short form, it is called as the BAN. So basically it is it would be a sensor that can sense some physiological parameters, that can also sense some activity or motion, and that can sense the environmental some parameters, or it can use as an environmental sensors. So when these all information will gather from a sensor or device from a human body, we will call it as a body area network. And then we actually send this information to a device from where it would be transmitted to the storage device like computer or sometimes in the cloud. So there is a use of IoT technology that is called as Internet of Things technology, that is the IoT. So body area network or the BAN, which will gather all these information from the environment as well as from the body, it will send the information to a particular storage, and from where it can be used as a IoT. Okay, or it can be used as a Internet of Things technology. Then we can think that these wearable sensors can be promoted, or these wearable sensors can be used for the well-being of the human. So as you can see here, there would be a different type of sensors like environmental activity, pulse oximeter, other physiological parameter that will go to the gateway. Sorry. And from that gateway, it will go to the storage where the data can be managed. So there are two bridges. One bridge is here, which is basically known as sensor manager link technologies, which can be achieved by Bluetooth or some internet connection. And another bridges is here, where this gateway sends the information through the cellular link or technologies like Wi-Fi, 4G, 5G, all this technology, or through the cloud technology. Okay, so there are two bridges from where we'll get all the data. So if we could collect the patient data from different type of biosensors to a portable device like iPad or computer, we can send these things to the cloud-based platform where it will be again used to the data visualization, or it can be used for the data management. So basically, the wearable technology or wearable medical devices have a great future in the revenue, in terms of revenue generation, as well as in terms of the economic growth. So here you can see analysis of the polarized market research. They have given the data that within 2027, all the continent like North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, Latin America, and Middle East, how they will become enlarge their wearable medical devices market. So you can see here in terms of billion of USD investment. So come to our scientific part. So basically we will collect, or we need to collect some data through the wearable sensors, and we will use that data in different type of human well-being, or we can use the data in the different development of the sports. So as you can see here in the left pan side, previously we used to use the cardiac function through palpatory method. We used to use the cardiac function through ECG or stethoscope. But nowadays, we use some wearable devices from where we get the data for the cardiac function. Same way, we used to see the physical activity, as you can see here, as well as you can see the for the respiratory rate, we use all these wearable devices. So now I will give some example of the wearable devices like a Vital Patch. This is a brand name of the Vital Connect, which is being made in the USA, and they collect the data of single lead ECG, heart rate variability, respiratory rate, body temperature, body posture, fall. It can be able to detect the fall, as well as it can be able to detect the activity, whole day activity. So this is the way that patch can be attached to the human chest, human body chest, and it will give all the data accurately.